Upon waking up, I found myself with a car, a house, a business, and savings in the bank, even inexplicably having a girlfriend. This is not a plot from a novel, but the true story of a netizen I am going to tell today. At 4:08 p.m. on May 1st, I received this submission, and the submitter used an ID that was a series of numbers. For now, let's call him Akyong. Akyong is a native of a village in Gizhu, 26 years old, single, and without a girlfriend. His father is also alone, and his mother passed away from brain cancer 18 years ago. The family conditions of the mountain people are not affluent. The house is a self-built 2-story building, and there are no other properties. Akyong is not good at socializing. In his own words, he can't see his future. He longs to make money but is afraid of failure. He majored in accounting in college and worked for 2 or 3 years after graduation, saving about 100,000 yuan. But recently, this sum of money seems to be able to do nothing. So, Akyong decided to go back to his hometown this year. After returning home, he raised 20 sheep at home, including 10 rams and 10 ewes. On March 1st this year, Akyong and his father were driving the sheep home when suddenly there was a thunderstorm and it started to rain. He was at a loss and rolled down a small slope. What he can remember ends here, and then he fainted. When he woke up, he found himself lying in his home bed, feeling particularly tired, weak, and very thirsty. So Akyong got up to go to the living room to pour water, and at this time, his father came in from outside and asked Akyong to take his temperature, also saying a lot of inexplicable things to him. Akyong was confused and asked his father, "Dad, what are you talking about? I fell on the mountain yesterday, and I just woke up today, right? I don't remember doing what you said." His father replied, "Are you silly from sleep? I called you for 10 minutes, and you got up. Stop talking nonsense. The customers you mentioned the day before yesterday are coming to see the sheep today, get up and prepare." But Akyong had no idea what his father was talking about, so they argued for a long time. His father was also puzzled and said, "Son, if what you say is true, then something might have gone wrong. Check your phone and see what time it is now." Akyong ran to his room to look at his phone and was stunned. He remembered using an Oppo phone, but now it has become an iPhone 13 Pro Max. Then, the phone password suddenly appeared in his mind. After unlocking the phone, he was stunned. The date showed April 29th, which means he had been in a coma for 2 months since March 1st. He hurried to the living room on the first floor and asked his father to tell him what happened after he fell into a coma. His father lit a cigarette and began to recall. That day, after Akyong rolled down the slope, he woke up after more than 10 minutes of calling. After waking up, Akyong ignored his father and went home directly, even forgetting about the sheep. Later, his father asked his second uncle to help bring the sheep back. After Akyong went home, he fell asleep, and when his father called him to get up and eat, he didn't eat and asked his father not to disturb him. The next day, he got up with a high fever, but he looked full of energy, not like a patient. His father asked him to go to the hospital, but he insisted on not going and was always busy. Moreover, Akyong also took out a loan to buy a batch of sheep by himself, and now there are more than 170 sheep at home. Because of the persistent high fever, his father forced him to go to the hospital for a checkup, but everything was normal, and the body temperature was always 39.4 degrees. The doctor was also puzzled, gave Akyong an infusion and prescribed medicine, and he went home. After going home, he also told his father that he met a little girl in the hospital. After getting to know each other for 10 days, Akyong also brought the girl home. His father was very happy that day, made a lot of dishes, and said that Akyong had been talking very little recently, as if he had changed into another person. The loan was Akyong, who went to the county party secretary, mortgaged the house, the village had guaranteed, and took out a 300,000 yuan business loan with a 3-year term, using 200,000 yuan to buy sheep. The land was approved by the government, and his father didn't know what method Akyong used. In short, he has a lot of land, and then he spent more than 70,000 yuan to buy a car and a mobile phone. In the past few days, many people have come to book wool and sheep, and have paid a lot of deposits to Akyong. It is also said that Akyong's girlfriend has gone to work and hasn't come these 2 days, but she has been at their house for the past few days, and has also slept with Akyong. Hearing this, Akyong was completely stunned because he had no impression of his girlfriend's name, and his father said that the girl's name was Xiaolu. Akyong looked at his mobile phone, and there was a WeChat called Little Dear Obedient, and the two had a long chat record. After waking up, Akyong has a car, a house, a business, and more than 300,000 yuan in balance in the bank, as well as a girlfriend, which is unbelievable. And just on April 30th, the day before Akyong submitted to me, there were indeed people who came to their house to see the sheep and successfully booked the adult sheep for the following year. In the contract, it is clearly written that no less than 200 sheep weighing 40 kilograms each, with a deposit of 50,000 yuan. When Akyong submitted, he told me that he now has a headache. He doesn't know whether all this is good or bad. From the day he woke up on the 29th to the 30th, and then to the day he submitted on May 1st, he has been lying down most of the time in a state of confusion these days. However, when he submitted to me, he also figured it out. Since it has happened, he needs to think about what to do next. He also talked to that girl, that is, the girlfriend who suddenly appeared, about these things. The girl also said it's okay, no matter who you are, I like you. She also said, should we reintroduce ourselves? Akyong said he was too tired and would go to see her when he gets better. In fact, he doesn't remember what the girl looks like, but the girl also said, if Akyong says all this is true, science can also explain it, he really fell, and may have had a personality split. When I saw this submission, I was also very shocked and didn't know how to explain all this. Babies, what do you think is going on with this? Well, see you in the next story.